Actually, robot is an example of AI agent in a physical format. And now let's talk about robots, right? So there's been a lot of talk about robots, both humanoid and non-humanoid format. I think both segments will develop very rapidly. Like drones obviously will develop very rapidly, especially in the area of defense, from a human operated to AI operated world is coming very soon. On the humanoid side, because so much of our infrastructure and so much of the world is already built, optimized for human form factor, when we have robots that are just as agile and just as sensitive as human beings, I think that's going to really revolutionize. And inside every one of these robots is going to be the brain that's going to be controlling them, and that's going to be AI. And I think the AI plus robots is really going to change the makeup of industries as well as our personal lives. Imagine the amount of computing power that's required to manage all this and power all this. So from an infrastructure point of view, there's going to be even more, and we're going to have more. And then from a AI agents point of view, we're going to have more. And if you could think of robots as a physical form of AI agents, right? A lot of the business processes do not require physical robots, but others do, like surgery, for example, or lifting heavy stuff. And what's exciting about robots is that we're going to be able to do things that we couldn't do before, because now there's a less of a human, risk factor, right? Going to Mars, for example. I think we can be a lot freer to send, robots over there. So all this is what lies ahead, right? And computing is only gonna get faster and cheaper. And when we layer on quantum computing, that's gonna be another leap forward. People talk about whether it's gonna take 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, that almost doesn't matter. Could it be in 5 years? Who knows? I mean, who knew that ChatGPT was going to completely put people on a different plane in terms of thinking about AI? It wasn't that OpenAI did something that was so different, so innovative, so technologically advanced that other people couldn't do it. But what they did was made it available for everyone. And that just opened up this flurry of activities, and people got excited about it, and people started using it, and people finally saw the power of AI. And within 2 short years, just think about the amount of change that happens. Really, the innovation was just making it easy and usable for everyone, right? It was a simple interface, right? So instead of being in the purview of some experts or some academics, they made it into everyday tool. Just like the Internet Explorer. I mean, when the internet first happened, internet existed before web. Before web browser existed, the internet exists for a long time. But it was the graphical web browser that made it relevant for everybody. That's when the whole thing started in 1993, right? And when Mark Andreessen, put out the Mosaic, which became Netscape. We always knew that AI was going to be with us, some kind of super intelligence, and also robots as well. It wasn't that big stretch of imagination to think that everybody's going to have robots. I think the only thing that's surprising today is how quickly what we used to think science fiction is going to become reality. Yeah, so I think when I started Hostway in 1998, I, along with co-founders, started Hostway in Chicago, 1998. It was at what I would call at the height of the internet boom. Everybody saw the possibility of internet and how revolutionary it's going to be, and the hype was really at its height. Everybody who's anybody started a business in the internet. And there are 2 things actually that drove that excitement at the time. One is this ubiquitous connection and being able to connect with just about anybody anywhere in the world at a fraction of a cost of what it used to cost. And the other thing was actually open source software. So it wasn't just the internet, it was actually the rise of the open source software, which somebody would write a program and make it available to the whole world for free. Because before that, you had to pay for software. So those two things, the rise of the ubiquitous connection and then the rise of the free software movement, where anybody can contribute the code, that really drove the real big change in the way the IT was done. But that was all on the infrastructure layer, actually. So like often most things, the innovation happens at the infrastructure layer first. Like for example, you need to have roads in order for, let's say, invention like cars to take advantage of or to really change our daily lives. You need all the fibers connecting the world in order for all the exciting things to happen on top of that fiber infrastructure. But it takes a long time from building the infrastructure, all the necessary infrastructure, to the actual changing of people's lives and industries, right? So I think the last 20 years of the internet really was setting the stage for the next big thing to come. And clearly the next big thing is the AI. In fact, even the cloud revolution was, it's gonna be just a blip, right? Because when I started Hostway as a hosting company, it was a physical infrastructure. And then when the cloud came, it was a pretty big deal and it was pretty major. And moving from the physical infrastructure to the public cloud was a pretty meaningful thing. But I think with AI, the amplification of the change in our lives is going to be even greater, right? So, and in fact, I think this is going to be one of the rare occasions where within our lifetime, we're going to witness, three different big epochs, right? So the first epoch is internet, and then the cloud, and then now with the AI, and then the third epoch is going to be many times greater than the previous two periods.